we're going to read what I call a vintage story, which is old writing that I really don't like to read because I was so cringy learning how to write, what I wanted to say. It's often incoherent speech, rambling about Jesse. The reason I wrote so much incoherent speech about Jesse is because one, I was hallucinating him. Two, I thought we were in some great love story that involved Taylor Swift. Three, I'm schizophrenic and my fixation is Jesse. So this is the Jesse book. It looks just like him. And but this is a cute story about our childhood together. A lot of like our relationships with the J Boys is direct messages back in the day. Back in the day we used to all direct message each other. And those are really our memories. We stayed connected in direct messages. The Hey Buddy lived a million miles away. That's Johnny. So me and Johnny were quite. We loved to write love letters back and forth to each other when we were growing up. He was my top choice, but he lived so far away. He was better for me, just a good dude. However, he had a wandering eye and did not want to be held down by a girl from another life. So I'm kind of writing at an eighth grade level because I kind of love Judy B. Jones, and I wanted to kind of the stories to be like detectives for my love story, like I wanted it to sound like a high schooler was writing it because it's my high school stories. So that's why I write like I did. Now I write more grown up because I'm grown up now. So it's a bit more of I have adult stories, but I try not to get too adult because I'm wholesome and I want to be like a public speaker and I don't want it to be too saucy, but those are my feelings and people enjoy reading love stories. But I try to write it lovingly, but this is my high school stories. The hello friend lived right down the road. That's Jesse. It is very clear that he does not want anything. Well, there is always the one thing he wanted from me to be quiet about my accusations unless I wanted to try again. Still pulling my head behind the curtain, those two boys are boys from my past. My fire buddy is gone, and that's Johnny. So I tried to put theater clues into it because me and Jesse were old theater buddies, and much of our secret little love story has to do with drama class. We like to sneak off and get snuggly together, and but we were best friends, so we were always just pulling. It's like, no, we can't. And me and Jesse are very much like, I love you. No, I love you. No, and then it's all very dramatic in high school. But he was my bro, and it feels so good that I'm like finally disconnect. Like I'm finally cutting this like will we ever see each other again. It's not even being together, it's just seeing each other. So I'm manifesting that we're going to move to New York and make a movie because we can be friends, because I really think that we can be just friends, because I think it's good for him, because I'm like a therapist and I know he I have ruined his mind. So me talking openly to the class is going to be therapeutic for him. He will get into my head like a parasite going to eat the foundation, wrecking my head, not even trying to ruin my life. And that's what I always think is Jesse ruined my life, because there was a clue in the music industry of ruin my life when me and Jesse met at the park, and I thought he had a great plot to ruin my life, but I felt he actually tried to ruin my life out of great revenge from what happened in 2000, in the spring of 2007, when I picked up the apple and I said, "Hey Jesse," and he turned around and I aimed at his back, but he turned around, it hit his eye. Now we want to see it on the big screen. A Wreck It guy, just a guy that you call to wreck your life. someone who would never be able to step up for the daily, be there for the stuff. And me writing this kind of stuff, if he wasn't broken to my devices, that's probably why he didn't pick me. I can see I see things a little clearly now that I'm on medication. And he does pick up for the daily stuff, for the person that he chose to do his life with. And those are the things I have to tell myself. Like, stop being so mean to these boys, and maybe that's why they don't love you, because you're mean and savage to them. I'm at my work family and stuff, and people like closest to me in my daily life, they don't see that part of me. But those boys hurt my feelings, and when they hurt my feelings, I tend to get a little mean with my words, which I don't like that part of myself. It's something that I've worked to heal, because I say really deranged, mean things that are very out of character for me, and that is my schizophrenic, the deranged part of my schizophrenic that is scary to specifically Jesse. Like, it is past the point, it's like alarming, and he should protect himself, because I've already thrown something at his face before. I laugh. I would never do it again, and I didn't mean to do it, but I don't want to accidentally hurt him. So that's why, like, God doesn't have us together, because I shake him with this, like, be in my life. That's all that I want. I just want him to be in my life, so that way we can make a movie. I feel I can't have a motion picture without his involvement. And that is my major problem that I have to talk to therapy about, and I don't know how to talk to therapy without. So this is like a public platform for therapists would just love listening to a schizophrenic ramble on about love stories, because schizophrenics love love, and they think that everyone's in love with them, and they love everyone, and that's my biggest thing, which I think is cute. I think it's an endearing quality. I don't really like this book, but it's a part of the story. I don't like reading old stuff because I'm not there anymore, but people will. People will like to read it. So when I say I don't like this book, that's not really selling myself. I shouldn't say that. But I like my newer stuff. It's more sweet and intimate and just more romantic. This stuff, I got a chip on my shoulder because Jesse was ghosting me so bad, and then he was dating around, and I could feel his energy when they were falling in love. I could feel his energy, because we're so connected to each other, which is my schizophrenia. I don't feel his energy. We're not connected. He wants to move on in his life, and he is going to do that. Um, but this is my Jesse stories, and this is my Johnny stories, which I've kind of made a video about that. But Staring at the Sun, I've just read this book over and over again, but I flipped here, and this is what it said. It said, when I see my old friend's face for the first time, I remember what kind of love I deserved. So in Staring at the Sun, I was still very much in love with Jesse. Staring at the Fire, I was getting a little mad at him because I hadn't heard from him, because he said I wouldn't come get you. I couldn't come get you even if I wanted to. So then I was just like, I hear you loud and clear. You are actively in the process of breaking my heart. But when I understood why he was breaking my heart, it was illuminating to major problems that I have in myself. I wasn't who he remembered me to be. He wasn't who I remembered him to be. He looks different. I look different. He's a different person. I'm a different person. He's lived a different life. I've lived a different life. But underneath it all, there's still this deep friendship that's never going to go away. So like, I loved Josh since I was 13 years old. Jesse was my best friend. When me and Jesse got intimate in the basement, it just kind of ruined everything that I could have had with Josh. And Josh is a more steady handed guy than Jesse is for me. Jesse is a steady-handed guy for the right person, but Jesse is a lot like me. That's why I think Josh would love me, because he loves Jesse and I'm just like Jesse. Jesse is the way that Jesse is because of me, and I know this about myself, and he knows that about himself. It's because we've been best friends since kindergarten, and we were best friends from kindergarten all the way up until junior year when I hit threw the apple at his face. Because even after the basement, we'd still look at each other and want to talk, and but we didn't want to talk. And the big mystery was, I pregnant, because he knew what I didn't, and so I'm sitting there waiting for my period to start. And so I write that in staring at the tree. Did I get pregnant? Did I not get pregnant? My delusions of thinking I did get pregnant. I think that I probably did, when I remembered some stories that are reality, that do have witnesses and things like that. Um, so then when I remembered that I possibly got pregnant, I'm an adult and I'm sensitive now, and I would have loved that child that I would have had with Jesse, and especially because I thought I was in some great love story with Jesse. But I was 17. I wouldn't have been able to raise that baby, and it was God's protection for my life. And I had a baby at the right time with the right man in that moment in my life, and we had a beautiful life and are raising a beautiful son. And he is growing into a wonderful, strong man, and life is just going to be awesome. And I hope that Danny does meet Jesse one day. I'm trying to manifest it, because Danny knows Jesse's face, because I was crazy about Jesse and I talk about him all the time. So I would like for him to meet, because Danny's real funny, so he's got some Jesse jokes. He calls him Apple Face. It's funny, but that's the story.